Hey everybody, it's Joe from Papa Jobo's, and today we're going to be talking about gender matching, not to be confused with a gender swap where you completely change a character's gender one for another. I'm talking about gender matching, and what that means within the realm of nerddom is simply this. You take a superhero, even a villain if you want, and it doesn't matter what gender they are, you come up with the exact same superhero just in the form of the opposite sex. So you have Batman, Batgirl, Batman, Batwoman, Superman, Supergirl, Spider-Man, Spider-Girl. You get the picture, so on and so forth. I'm going to tell you why that's one of the stupidest things to ever exist, and it's not something that just started in the golden age of wokeness. It's something that started happening well over, I think, 7 decades ago in the comic book industry. Now, to understand why it happened, you need to understand what cultural Marxism is. And it's important to this because cultural Marxism has its foot in everything now. It's simply this, pertaining to what we're talking about anyway. You take a class of people, say based on politics, religion, race, gender, sexuality, any of it, and you decide that those people are a victimhood class, a victimized class. This is much more complex, and I go further deeper into it to other videos. And if you really want to know all about cultural Marxism, go read Rob and Mark Phillips. You'll learn everything you can about it. But let's just keep it simple for this. When you take a class, say in this instance, it's going to be women, and you decide that every single one of them is a victim, then you get to do whatever you want with them. Anything that happens with them goes. Anything, because they've been victimized. It's a ridiculous, an absolutely ridiculous premise, but that's what happens. And so what happened when these people started matching genders? Well, they were doing it, some of them were doing it unwittingly. They didn't understand that they were supporting cultural Marxism. They just thought, hey, we're being fair. Some looked at women and went, hey, I really like them in that outfit. I want to see what they do in it. As simple as that. It was more about sexualization. But for the most part, most people who decided to gender match were people who were heavily influenced by cultural Marxism. Now, there's a few people I don't doubt that knew exactly what they were doing, understood what communism is, and decided to go that route with it. Now, for our purposes, we're just going to keep it really simple. They decided to show women as being a victimized group of people. So what did they do to even it out? They decide to gender match. So you've got the Incredible Hulk, well, then you got She-Hulk, you got Superman, you got Spider-Girl, right? To me, that's one of the most patronizing, ridiculous things you can do with anything. Ask yourself this real quick. How many women superheroes have their male counterpart? Original female characters have their male counterpart. There are none. You don't have Wonder Man. You don't have Scott the Witch. You don't have Rogue's counterpart, Ralph. You don't have Storm's counterpart, Stormy Steve. They don't exist, and they don't exist for a reason, because there's a war, there's a cultural war going on, and it's been going on for years, guys. If you read the guy I just told you about, you'll understand why. And I'm just not going to go that deep into it. I'm going to tell you that it is based in cultural Marxism without question. And if you doubt me, just go read it. Robin Mark Phillips. Good stuff. So for me, watching what they're doing nowadays with female Thor and, the She-Hulk and Batgirl, they were always ridiculous to me. These are things I never liked. Even as a child, I would read them and go, what's the point of this? Other than some of the girls I thought looked, pretty sexy in their outfits. But other than that, I didn't care, and I didn't follow them, and I didn't buy the comic books. And if they weren't original, I could give a rat's behind about them. What I understand now is why it was happening, and I hate it. I absolutely despise it. I think it's one of the stupidest things you can do for any genre, but it's even worse within the fantasy and sci-fi realm, because all you're doing is being really, really patronizing to women. Hey, you can't come up with an original character. Why don't we copy the male character? It is stupid. And then it says to men, hey, you're not worthwhile. You're worthless. Women are better, blah, 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 blah. And it's just ridiculous. It pits people one against another. It is based in cultural Marxism, every last bit of it. I'm telling you, you got to find out why for yourself. It's interesting stuff. It's fascinating. I didn't know a lot about it until probably within the last 10 years when I started looking into it. But what do you think about gender matching? Is it stupid? Do you like it? Do you not care? Do you think that cultural Marxism is something that is actually good? I hope not, but what do you think about it? Comment below. I am Joe from Papa Jobo's. Peace.